So they've approached you guys about a lease, though, I'm sure?
Oh, yeah. Chesapeake did, and then Range came door to door here at one point.
Oh, I've got half a dozen letters.
How's that going?
Oh, they didn't offer us near enough.
Were they pushy?
No.
They weren't offering enough money.
Oh, no, they weren't even close.
I wouldn't. I don't. You know what the thing is? I don't think even if they came and said that I would make $200 a month for nothing, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
I just, what I know of it and what I've seen happen to other people, and what I know of out west, where people's homeowners insurance has gone up, they've had damage to their homes. Like I would get a job at the mall in the evenings and make that amount of money.
But what I was referring to is if they would pay me enough for my house, I would definitely move.
I was thinking either that or when your kids was on the news. So we're sitting here. We're surrounded by dynamite. How's this? You've got 3 little boys, 2 of them running around, 1 in your arms now. Tell me a little bit about how this has affected your life the last 2 years, I guess.
Well, that concerns me. I mean, the past 2 years of my life, we'll put it this way: I have not been able to sit down in the evening and watch TV or relax. I am on the computer morning till night. I mean, with the exception of, normal household stuff and daily living. But I am constantly trying to educate myself, constantly trying to keep up with the township meetings in regards to the oil and gas, trying to watch the property behind my house.
Are you going to planning meetings or anything like that?
Yeah, going to the planning meetings, going to just the regular supervisor meetings, because the gas well men, they're going down requesting, certain things from the supervisors without even the township people knowing.
Yeah.
We found out at the meeting last night that the gas companies had spoken to the township supervisors and requested that they do permitted use in residential 1. Two. I'm sorry.
R2. What do we hear?
R2.
Residential.
So R1 is your neighborhood.
That is a cluster.
R2 is going to be like farmland, and
where each one of them have like a quarter
acre lot
or less.
So R2 is going to be some farmland, pasture land, houses.
Well, rural.
Right, like all this
residential.
Except for on that side. That's when it starts the agricultural.
Deerfield Road is the break point.
Right.
Yeah.
On this side.
What kind of regulations are there surrounding those two? Like R2, what can you do here?
What can we do?
As far as the oil and the gas?
Could I build a mini or gas station or whatever there?
Absolutely not.
Right.
No.
But they are allowed to build an industrial site.
Yeah. Have you seen the sites? The old wells? Obviously, there's the one close here that's being drilled now or being fracked now. But
right, we've seen several. I mean, I've driven by the ones that are out here. At night for a while back, this whole hillside was lit up from a well that's 5 miles away. And one night, we were in bed, and the windows were closed. It was a cool night, and I just hear this soft, and I'm like, something is wrong with something electrical in my house. And I'm looking around trying to figure out what it was, and I walk over towards the window, and I open up the window, and then I knew immediately.
The steady drum of diesel engines?
It was the well being flared.
Oh.
5.5 miles away, and I could hear it with my window shut.
Yeah.
They are allowed, by law, to put a gas well 200 feet from a home.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've got pictures and I've seen them.
Yeah, it's horrible. And how people psychologically can live with that. I know what I've been doing and John has been doing for the past 2 years, and it is not, you move out to a place like this. We used to live in the city of Pittsburgh and grew up out here, but had lived there for several years, and all I wanted to do was get out of the city, move back here where I grew up, and now they're going to put in these industrial sites. I don't know how we're even going to live here. I can't sit down at night and relax. I'm constantly worried what's going to happen to this hillside. How am I going to fight? If the foundation cracks from these charges, what am I going to do? When am I going to have time to take pictures of the foundation? Or it's constant.
Give me your best guess, realistically. What do you think is going to happen in the next, say, 3 years? And you're right around here.
I'll tell you. There's going to be a lot of houses going up for foreclosure because people aren't going to want to live here.
So you think the wells are coming?
Oh,
yeah.
definitely,
Right.
definitely.
And they're going to be everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, they can only drill, 2,000 feet out from the center, so that should tell you how far out each well's going to be.
There ought to be one here. There's going to be one.
I think they can put them 500 feet apart.
Yeah. So I think the value of the homes are going to go down. I think that there's going to be a lot of people up and leaving, and nobody coming in to buy their homes, because I sure wouldn't buy a house next to a gas well site. And if I was purchasing a house, the first question in my mind would be, number one, if I buy the house, are there going to be the mineral rights that come with it, or is someone else going to keep it and then put a gas well on my surface property? I mean, who?
What kind of leases already been signed?
Right.
I mean, because there's no surface use leases where you just, all right, you guys will be underneath me somewhere.
Right.
Well, that's if you sign a lease and you own your
Right,
own
but if you're
rights.
buying a house, you're buying a house with the
Right. Who's going to want to buy it?
conditions are preset.
Yeah,
I
right.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way, absolutely no way I'd buy a house like that.
So as far as the rest of Washington County, or let's say, 20 square miles around here, is this the same story over and over?
Same
or-
story.
Oh, it's right now, in Amwell Township, which is right next to us. It abuts us.
Mm-hmm.
They have no ordinances. There's already 13 wells in that
They're
township.
getting slammed. You said.
And yesterday when my wife called, she asked the secretary what kind of ordinance they had, because we were having a meeting with the supervisors yesterday, because they were declaring the R2 a permitted use area.
They were changing the R2's
yeah.
definition, basically.
See,
Right.
that what that does, that constitutes the gas company does not have to go to the planning commission. Only thing they have to get is a DER permit.
DEP.
DEP.
He's
Sorry,
he's from the old school.
I'm old school. Sorry. They get a DEP permit. They come to the township building. They give it to our township manager.
Mhm.
Walk out the door. Get on the equipment and start working.
Right.
They don't have to tell the planning committee. The supervisors have to do absolutely nothing. And there is no public hearing. Like in our situation with the bad hillside, we would not know they were going to do this until it was too late.
Yeah.
So we went down there. I was there. You glad to leave a little bit early,
Yeah.
but this meeting didn't end until 11 o'clock last night.
Did it get heated?
6:30.
Oh, he got ill. Yeah, well, of course.
People were upset.
And see what they did. We tried to make them postpone this meeting and do it again, because they advertised it in the public notices as a conditional use ordinance. But they were presenting for passage a permitted ordinance,
Uh-huh.
which is completely reversible. I mean, it's like day and night.
Legally, yeah, I don't know how they did it. Advertise one and do
And-
another.
I think you guys are hitting on another issue that's I found curious, or I find curious, is it seems it kind of changes the community when the gas companies move in. It seems to me, like you were telling me, everybody on your street
Without a
is
doubt.
not signing. I mean, I don't want to say have you lost friends, but I mean, tell me how it's changed
People,
the shape of the community.
we'll put it this way, when this first happened, people thought we were nuts. Oh, it's 9,000 feet underground. It's just a little pipe that comes out. It's no big deal. Now that they've come up with gas land, split estates, people are starting to see, the more we talk, we've been trying to get people to go down to the township meetings, people are starting to learn. In the beginning, I think people thought we were nuts. Totally nuts.
Well, as a matter of fact, I had a telephone call from a woman today, and we talked for over an hour.
About
and she
gas?
was asking me questions, and I was answering the questions, and she says, "I don't believe it." She says, "Is this for real?" I said, "Yeah, you don't have to believe me." I says, "I'll give you a website for Penn State." I says, "and you can get on your computer and download a book that they printed up." Well, they printed 2 issues. They printed one for the landowner getting a lease.
I've heard about this before. Both of them. Yeah.
Okay, this is from Penn State.
Right,
this was
right.
a study done by them, just like you're doing. And they also wrote up another booklet that the township officials should know how gas well drilling is going to affect them both financially, economically, and
Environmentally.
This was a study done by them. There was no gas money involved in it. So
Right.
it was a completely independent study.
Yeah, I've actually heard people kind of blaming Penn State for getting this whole spiel going.
Right.
You know, they have a big geology department there, you know, well-respected geology department, so I guess it makes sense that that's where it come from. But
they
I'm
were
guaranteeing
funded.
people that people knew the shale was there.
Right, but they were funded. That huge study they did was funded, I think, by Range, wasn't it?
I wouldn't
What, Penn
surprise me at all.
State? No.
Yeah, no, yes, it was. The last study the study.
Oh, the last study, but the study in those booklets,
no, because that
was
really
an
that's just
independent,
about like legal things.
Right.
But
university.
but the contamination study that they did, they just came out just like a month ago and said that it was funded by them.
Yeah.
But to the question, though, I mean, what do you feel, people? I mean, do you feel that your neighbors are against you or for you, or what do you think?
Well, like I said, I had a telephone call today. The woman was asking me questions because
Yeah.
nobody, and I'm talking nobody, has researched this. Even,
Why would you?
Even the people across the
You've
road.
only
that
been
own
dealing with it for 2 years, right?
Right.
Yeah, even the
There's a lot
people.
goes on in your real life in
Right.
that 2
Yeah.
If
years.
someone comes to offer you, you know, if you
Some free money.
yeah, like this family here. I mean, they
But we're friends.
Yeah.
He couldn't get his tractor started this winter. His mother lives in the farmhouse up there now.
Uh-huh.
Now he lives on the other side of the farm, and he couldn't get his tractor started. He said, "Would you keep Mom's driveway cleaned out?" And I keep my farm tractor in the basement in the winter because it's a diesel, and I spoiled it since 1980. It has never been in cold weather, and if you put it out in cold weather, it shivers and it won't start either. So I keep it in the garage in the wintertime so I can start it and I clean the driveways. And he said, "Would you keep Mom's driveway open because she's afraid? She's in her mid to late 80s, and she says when she gets snowed in,
I have a grandma
she
about
gets
that old
nervous."
Well, yeah.
So I used to go up there every day and plow her driveway out so they could get in and out. And I talked to down here, and she'll come up in the yard with the horse, and we'll sit there and talk. So no, I'd say there's nothing, no animosity.
Right.
I mean, they signed. Now, I don't want our governor coming in and say, "Well, we're going to pull you."
How do you mean?
Well, he's talking about pooling for the gas
Oh,
company.
pool. P-O-O-L. I got you.
Yeah,
I just thought you said pull. Like,
and I don't want him to take my negotiating powers away from
Yeah,
me.
right.
And if I don't want to sell my gas, I want to keep it for a future use, I should be able to do this. I own these rights. Mr. Randall does not. And I don't feel that he should be able to take this away. And they should tax the gas companies. Every other state does. We are one of the only states that don't.